All right, so let's talk about the September 8th, 2025 market outlook for this overall week. Now, again, we always start with Bitcoin. So let's begin. We always go for the daily starting out. So, what we see here, immediately we see a demand zone right here. Okay. And we saw a sweep of liquidity, sweep of that demand zone. Okay. Followed by this immediate push up. Okay. So, just on the daily, we're pretty bullish already. Now, go to the 4 hour. Now, the 4 hour looks a little bit more choppy. What do we see here? Not much. Honestly, not much for Bitcoin. We want to see, prices stay above the moving averages. Okay, so that's what we want on the 4 hour. On the daily, though, it's looking good, right? Could argue there are equal highs over here, so that's an immediate liquidity target, right? So that's something to keep in mind. My uh outlook is higher. Like I'm bullish. The direction I'm looking for is up, bullish. Okay. ETH, ETH looking quite good still. So we tapped into this daily demand zone. We got this break of structure here, caused by this demand zone, and we're pretty much just dilly dallying around. All right, not really doing much here. Um, my analysis last week is technically the same analysis as this week, just based on what's this 2 weeks, 14 days of pure chop. There's nothing happening here. The volatility is very low. Nothing's happening. Okay. However, structure wise, regardless of time frame, structure wise, looks good for a push up. Okay. We're just building a base here. We're building liquidity, building that fuel. So expect this week to possibly, right? Possibly give us that clear direction, that clear push up. Okay. Now let's go to the 4 hour. What do we see here on the 4 hour? We saw a sweep of this liquidity over here. Pretty much swept it twice. Got a push up, but eventually got uh, sold off again. So it looks like we're stuck in this range for now. Let's clear this up a bit. Okay. So once we've established a range, the moving averages won't work as well because the moving averages show momentum. And right here, there is absolutely no momentum. We're seeing just ranging price action right about here. So possibly we shoot up here and get sold off again, something like this. We'd want to see something like that. Okay. We'd want to see a break of this consolidation for which we aim for higher. Right. So if you want to get into a position here, make sure it's as close as possible to the range lows, just so you're not putting on too much risk. So if you do something like this, that's only 2% risk, and technically your reward will be 7.5 R, right? That's crazy. That's good. Okay. Next, we have here Sol. Let's put back in our moving averages to show us what's happening here. So it looks like we've tapped this demand zone here at the peak of bottom, right? We've used the moving averages as support. Got a push up. Okay. So we front ran this demand zone a bit. Absolutely fine. We got another breakup structure, and we've now settled in this demand zone over here. Let's add the wick. Okay, so it's looking quite good because we got this sweep of liquidity into another push up right here, and technically this is a breakout, retest breakout. So coming days, again, I expect higher prices. Out of the three majors, Bitcoin and ETH, Solana looks the best. Right? It has been looking the best for quite some time, which is why I've been trading Sol so frequently, and I already have a long position here. Down here at 198, targeting another higher high. Right? So let's go to the 1 hour for this to appreciate what's actually happening here. Now, what do we see here? A bit choppy. However, here we reclaimed the moving averages. We sold off. We reclaimed it again. We sold off. So it's not as reliable as I'd want it to be, but it still gives us signals to get in. Right here, we reclaimed it, we tapped it, we broke below into this 4 hour demand zone. We failed to hold above. However, now we're trading above it again. Okay. So with everything lining up together, and there is a demand zone right here, we may get a pullback into this moving average to further push higher, right? Everything is speculation. It may just go up from here, or it may, range a bit more. But out of the three majors, Sol looks the best, and I am well positioned. So basically, that's it. If you want to learn more, right? We do mentorships one-on-one. Everything in the description below. If you want to get into the Discord, same thing. The description below. And now we actually do diagnosis calls, right? To know your pain points, right? If you need help in this particular area, or if you just want to learn, what you're lacking in your trading, well, again, just sign up and I'll see you on the inside.